This is a Glassbox Media podcast.
I literally binged the whole fucking thing at 3 seasons and now on the current season. And I told Chris, I'm like, if you don't fucking watch this,
we're getting a divorce. I have the same thing. Sometimes when you make a recommendation that's like so strong, it's like
you get personally
no,
offended.
I really need you to watch this.
Oh man, yeah,
sure, because I know this is in his wheelhouse. It's magic-y, sci-fi-y. I think, and I literally, when I was telling Chris about it, I was like, I think maybe the only other person I could truly recommend this to is possibly Christina. Like, I feel like you would get the nature of it. What I really like about the show is that it's super fucking woke in a weird way. Like, in the way that, like, very open sexually, like, sexual partners are very
fluid.
Yeah, it's very fluid. It's very.
I feel like a lot of those fantasy shows are like that. Like, I feel like anything dealing with like vampires or magicians or like somehow their universe is like way more woke than ours.
Yeah,
in that way, or like way more sexually liberated than ours.
It is a very sexually liberated show. I will say that. Like. Yeah, it's just, I really thought it was good. I don't know.
Speaking of sexual liberation, let's talk about that Zillow listing.
Oh my God.
You guys.
Oh my God.
I didn't even see this. I
saw it in a
someone
couple.
pull up pictures.
So my
I have it
posted.
saved.
I know who posted it. Oh, you do?
I have it saved.
Okay.
I saw it in a couple of different locations. Because
I kind of wish you hadn't told her was in the post first.
Well, I didn't think we were going to talk about it.
A friend of mine posted and was like, "Can somebody buy me this house?" And
Okay.
he's openly like a BDSM, like that's kind of his thing.
Right.
Okay, so you pull up this house and it looks like, I mean, what style of house would this be? It's almost a colonial situation.
Yeah.
It looks very respectable.
Right.
It is in Maple Glen, Pennsylvania.
You're
You're
like bricks, and it's got a red
got a
door,
red
so you know
door.
that means like rich.
It kind of looks like the McAllister house from Home Alone.
Oh my God,
a little
totally.
bit. Like, that's what it looks like. So you want to scroll through?
Yeah.
So you take it.
Just keep scrolling.
You scroll. You just it's just
beautiful.
like casual. It's beautiful.
5 bed, 3 bath, 5,000 square foot, beautiful backyard. You got a pergola in the backyard. Ooh, that kitchen's nice.
It's a little nouveau riche bougie in that like there's a few things that are kind of like gaudy that I'm like, was this
It's like
rug
a Pinterest
necessary?
board.
Like, that I wouldn't totally do. I'm more of a clean slate kind of
God,
person in
look
my
at
house.
This California King and the Master.
But then
Just
you're
wait for the next bed you see.
You're scrolling along. You're like, things are looking very
By the way, comes
normal.
furnished.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Our listeners don't even know what's happening. So you keep scrling, and you're like,
it takes a
everything
minute.
looks pretty normal.
Yeah. Oh,
And
they got a gym. Oh, there's an attic. And
Are you sure it's
got
a gym?
some more staircases. And no, they must have taken it off.
They took it down.
No
Okay,
way.
guys.
It only goes to 39 photos.
They took it down. They took it down because, slide 41 used to be there because I think it went viral. It went viral because I saw it posted on Drinkarinos and then I also saw it posted elsewhere. Slide 41 and then several after. So you're like, okay, they've remodeled the kitchen.
Normal house.
It looks totally normal. And then as if it belongs there.
Just normal.
Sex dungeon. Sex dungeon. There's like a guillotine. There's like ropes on
St.
the
Andrew's
bed.
Cross. There's like the
swing.
bed. The bed has like all the bars on it, so you can like cage up and like,
unnecessary mirrors. Like this room is
no, totally necessary.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
Completely
this room
necessary
is
mirrors.
only for sex, like for sex only, and like crazy kinky sex. And it's weird because you get like 4 pictures of a sex dungeon.
Awesome kinky sex.
I know. I was just going to say
you're right.
that stuff costs so much money.
So much
and
money.
if it comes with the house, I'm kind of like,
no, but you're not going to use it. Are you going to use that?
That's a reason why they invented bleach.
Nope. No,
You know what I mean?
No, because
And
you
not
wouldn't use,
everything goes in places.
you wouldn't use a
Right.
secondhand. You wouldn't use a secondhand sex toy if it
No,
happens.
that's different though. Like these things don't insert themselves.
Yeah,
in
but
you
you
either.
can sterilize a sex toy, but it's the
Okay,
thought
that's-
of what it's being used for.
That's insertional.
I'm not using
Insertional.
anyone's sex
That's not a
swing.
word.
I'm sorry. I'm not using anyone's sex swing. I'm not putting my naked ass in. There's no way you could get that thing clean enough for me to not
come
be
on.
like
we've
grossed out.
We've all gotten busy on like a
Yeah.
frat guy's bed or
Yep.
something like that. You know how many bare asses have been on that?
Sure.
Like
I
they
mean, my
wash
ass
their
has been on a
sheets.
stranger's sink before.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
Well, I mean, if
So-
we're gonna, to be honest, like the grossest thing we could ever have sex on is anything in a hotel room. Like that's the nastiest.
Well, that's
thing
definitely
Absolutely.
happened.
you could ever have sex on.
Absolutely.
But still, I don't know that I could get it. I don't think so.
I wish slide 41 was actually still there.
I
wanna
should have
see-
screenshotted
Yeah.
it for you, to be
yeah.
honest. I really should have.
Bummed.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's a question because I don't know. That was a question I've heard before. You can donate sex toys.
What?
You can donate them to like
where?
Goodwill.
Wait, okay, that's
No.
Wait, no.
Yes.
No.
But like, I
Not
would never
use.
use them. I mean, how do you know?
Well, I mean packaging. That's how you would know.
I mean,
But
like,
I
you mean
mean-
like it has to be still sealed in the
Yeah.
packaging? I don't know. I don't know.
Who
Who-
takes these donations?
Who?
FYI.
Huh?
Who takes these?
Whoever works at the Goodwill. I don't know.
Wait, so Goodwill takes.
That's what I heard is that Goodwill would take them because you can sanitize them, but I don't care. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
the same
Like,
thing. Goodwill also takes like panties.
I'm not
and
wearing
stuff, and
those
I'm like,
either. I'm not
no,
wearing
or
those
swim
either.
swimwear.
And
I'm
here's
saying,
the thing about those is like swimwear.
Yeah.
Like you won't wear swimwear,
No.
but you'll use a used sex swing. Why?
You got
Swing is
me.
different,
You
like-
got me there.
No, but like a swing is different. Like I don't think I would use a swing, but like a St. Andrew's cross or
yeah,
like
things
you
that
know.
you're gonna attach like
Yeah.
your arms or your
Legs
legs
to,
to.
yeah.
I'm fine with that. But
I
you're
think
right.
I might be
think-
okay with that. But like
I think the swing is where we're gonna
yeah,
have
and
some
I'm
issues.
getting a new mattress for that bed as
mean, and
well. Like
depending on the
that's not
material.
happening.
Yeah.
Like I mean, is
Absolutely.
this leather? I mean, leather seems real cleanable.
Are you on the fence about the swing?
A little.
No.
Yeah, that's true. Leather you can wipe down. I don't know.
Yeah.
It is kind of porous.
It is a
Coral
hard.
swipe.
It's a hard no for me. On the swing, it's a hard no for me because yeah, if you're not going to wear
Why are we even
secondhand,
talking about this? This isn't gonna happen.
it's hypothetical. But I'm just saying, if you're not going to wear secondhand swimsuit, you can't
I'm
wear.
definitely not.
You can't wear someone else's sex swing.
Except
Yeah.
how? Okay. So here it is. Have you ever borrowed a friend's swimsuit?
Yes.
Yeah,
but that's different.
That's different.
You
Like,
know where
I
you know
know
whose vagina
I know-
that's been on.
Exactly. That's what
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I know that my
I
friends
know that vagina.
they have a
That's
good,
fine.
clean vagina situation happening. It's not weird.
We all went to a Korean spa together. We've seen each other's vaginas.
Exactly.
We have
Oh,
been
it's safe.
naked in a hot tub together.
Yeah,
I don't
it's fine.
think
It's fine.
it's
yeah.
fine.
But
Multiple
like,
times.
you know, I've also been inside like a Walmart. I'm like, I don't want to wear those people's swimsuits.
Ah, touche.
You know what I mean?
Touche.
I don't want
No, I
to
agree.
participate in their sex dungeon either.
I agree.
And again, you don't know whose sex dungeon. You don't know those people.
You will when you're signing at your closing.
Are you looking
true.
them in
You're
the
like-
eye? You're
That's
like,
true. You're like,
Give them the big eyes.
they're like
part of the
we're-
fine print. I'm like,
we're part of the
I
lifestyle.
need details about your vagina in order to.
If you could just fax me over your last pap smear, so I can take a look at that, make sure
smear.
everything is okay.
Everything's good to go.
I don't want anything
I
crawling
need
in
to know
crabs.
all the details about the flora and fauna of your situation.
Yeah, because I will say, yeah, that
Flora and
I
fauna.
said weird. I didn't mean to say weird. Well, I mean, weird sex doesn't mean bad sex. I think that it looks fun. It does look like
Yeah.
a very fun room that I would enjoy having fun in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would feel very weird about being like, I own this person's secondhand sex dungeon.
No, totally.
Like,
yeah.
someone carefully picked out that stuff.
Right.
What do you
They
think
felt the
happened in this
fabric.
situation? Like,
Divorce.
especially because they're like selling with furnished.
Oh, divorce.
You think?
Divorce.
Or do you-
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
not.
And then they'll
They
just
died.
split the assets.
I'm
Yeah.
all. They died.
They died in the sex dungeon.
Oh no! And now they haunt. So now not only do you have used
It's also
sex
haunted.
dungeon, it's also haunted.
Okay,
Oh,
listen,
no.
we're just on it with the pivots today. So Speaking of haunted, Anthony shared this to our Facebook wall, and I was like immediately saving this so we can talk about it.
I didn't even
Couldn't
open
read
it. I was
Couldn't.
like, no.
well, guess what,
Same.
guys? I opened it so you didn't have to.
Thank
Thank God.
So Anthony shared this with us, and we were like, I was very confused, disturbed. I had many feelings. Again, we've talked about like objectum sexuals before. We've talked about people who fuck ghosts before. I think we've even maybe touched on like dudes and sex dolls. Like, I think we've talked about all of these things. What we have not talked about is kind of like a weird mashup of all of that stuff.
Right.
I just got chills.
Yeah.
Is this woman... I am so freaked out by this. This woman,
Yeah, that
she's
picture
like,
is terrifying.
both of the pictures are terrifying.
It's nightmares.
She's a 20-year-old woman, and she married a zombie doll.
that is like, I mean,
Disgusting looking.
disgusting
It's
looking.
frightening.
It's so
It
scary.
also looks like a child. It's like small.
Yes.
And it's missing a jaw, and the face
Oh.
is like bloody.
God,
And-
it's so creepy.
And I read the article. Like, I did the deep dive.
Oh, my
and
God.
Oh, no.
it's
No.
very strange. The doll is a female doll.
okay.
But she wore a tux because she is, her words, not mine, the male in the relationship.
Wow.
And she would feel more comfortable in a tux. So they
Okay.
bought her a tux.
The doll would.
The doll.
The doll, of
Mhm.
course.
The doll.
The doll
of
and it-
course.
Because I think her name is Kelly. Let me see. Let me make sure.
Kelly has lots of opinions.
Yes.
about
So
things.
Felicity is 20, and she has married 37-year-old Kelly the zombie doll.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, no.
And I've seen these pictures, and I'm like, you have family at this event. Like, can you
No.
My
No.
mother
imagine?
would smack the shit
My
out of
mother
me.
would institutionalize me because there's clearly something wrong.
And she says our wedding ceremony was beautiful and perfect, exactly the way I dreamed it would have been.
Oh.
She said I made sure the whole wedding was done
Really?
properly, so
Really?
it would be as official as possible. We consummated the marriage afterwards.
Oh God. Oh God.
But then she goes on to say, and
You-
I'm wondering if she's
I can't.
I'm wondering if she's processing her grief in a really fucked up way, because she got this doll from her dad. Her dad bought her this doll
Right.
whenever she wanted it when she was like 12. And she's like, I denied my feelings for her for years. And it was like 4 years ago when she started like embracing her feelings. But it wasn't until like after her father died that she was like, yes, we're in a relationship and we're going to get married. So I wonder if it's a weird way of like processing her grief or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, she says she's very happy, and she doesn't mind that Kelly doesn't have a jaw or looks strange.
I mean,
Ugh.
she's not hurting anybody.
Exact- I mean, exactly.
It freaks me out, those photos
But
of that
how
weird.
is there consent?
I mean,
Yeah.
You know my rules.
Yeah.
How does the doll consent?
yeah, but I mean,
It's
you have to look at it as any
inanimate.
other, inanimate object, because like, how does a vibrator consent? Doesn't.
Oh, mine does.
You're like, no, mine. I programmed it. It's the male Siri
It's like,
voice.
Yes.
I'm interested.
This is great. This is all I've ever wanted.
That's
but
all
yeah,
I
my dream
needed
come
to hear.
That's where I land with it too, where I'm like, yeah, you're not hurting anyone.
Yeah.
So it's fine. But also, if that was my family member,
Oh, I'd
I'd
shake
be
the shit out of her.
concerned. Like, I'd just be concerned. Like, I'd be
Yeah.
like, I feel like there's a disconnect here. And like,
Shit, I got family members who post shit on Facebook that concerns me. This is a level.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Ugh.
It's shocking is what. That's it. It's shocking.
it's very weird to look
I
at.
think you hit the nail on the head that it's totally like a grief thing, because here's the other thing that is prevalent. Some people like hump pillows and dolls and stuff. Like that's how they masturbate. That's how they get off or whatever.
Yeah, we watched you.
We watched exactly. So I don't know, or it's just something that's the way that she gets off, and then combined with her like father's death and all this other weird stuff, it just kind of
you can project
clicked something weird in her
emotions
head.
onto an object. I don't know. It's strange. I mean, I do think it's like a branch of that objectum sexual thing that we talked about. Where
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Like, I mean, it's humanoid looking, whereas we talked about the woman who married the Berlin Wall, which that is not.
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
it's still, you're projecting a personality onto an inanimate object. Like,
Yeah.
it's all the same. You're assuming it has feelings and can consent and can marry you. And like,
Right.
so I don't know. It's very strange.
It makes me sad.
It makes me sad. And I don't mean to like poke fun at it, but I'm just like, guys, I feel like we have to talk about it.
It's like,
Yeah.
honestly, like Chucky, not scary at all.
This
Like,
doll?
That doll is
Frightening.
the scariest thing I've
Which
ever seen
also
in my
makes me
life.
wonder. I'm like, I was a weird kid at 12. Like,
Oh, totally.
I was a very weird kid.
Oh, everybody's weird at 12.
And I spent a lot of time in Hot Topics. I
Yeah.
was very odd, but never once would I have asked my mom for a doll like this.
Yeah, no,
And
it's
everyone can have their
creepy.
hobbies. Like, I
Yeah.
don't care.
I
but
mean, I just never was that like into that morbid stuff. Like I
Me
had, I had
neither.
friends who were. I had friends who were like super into like emo,
Bloody.
yeah, like
Yeah.
you know.
Whew.
I was into it only in
Wow.
the sexy way, like vampires.
Yeah. Well, I was too. I
Only
mean, who's-
bloodiness. Only
who's
bloody in a
not
sexy
into
way.
vampires?
Sex
don't know.
vampires. Doy, they're so hot.
So, hey guys,
It's so real.
you are listening to My Worst Date.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Keegan.
I'm Cassie.
I'm Christina.
Hey, so we wanted to kind of touch on our live show,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you guys, which we put up our first live show night as our episode last week. We're going to be putting up our second live show night next week,
Mm-hmm.
but we just wanted to take a moment and kind of bask in the glow of how wonderful
Yeah.
it was.
Yes.
It was
Amazing.
such a big deal for us, and I'm so proud of us for being able to put in the work that it took to make that a reality, because it's very easy to say like, this is something that we want to do, and talk yourself out of it by being like, maybe we're not ready or this or that or the other. And we kind of just said, no, we want to do it, we're going to do it, and that's
And
it.
we did.
And then we
Yeah.
did it.
There were so many like hurdles and things to figure
Yeah,
out that
yeah.
we didn't know.
And we did,
like,
though.
Yeah.
And it went as perfectly as I think it could have possibly
Truly.
gone.
Yeah.
It really did. It felt like we were doing this forever. We had such a wonderful crowd. So I want to thank all of our friends for coming out. I want to thank Chris and Joe
Yes.
for helping so much. And I also want to thank a lot of the people who come out who just listen to the podcast. Like
Yeah.
we had some people come out who are just like, yeah, I
Yes.
listen to your podcast every week.
Oh my God,
was so
Leah. That was
That
so
was
cute.
the most awesome.
I was so happy
So-
to meet her and throw a hug on her.
So sad that we couldn't hang out. We actually crossed paths.
We had a
and
misconnection situation,
misconnection.
yeah.
Yeah. We so bummed that we didn't get to go have cocktails with her. But yeah, she moved to Los Angeles and wanted to come see the show. And I was like,
Yes.
that's fucking awesome.
And then we also had our buddy Chris Kim from Faces
Yes.
and Aces.
Yeah.
And we had MJ and Bree from Keeping It Casual.
came in from Vegas.
From freaking
Big,
Vegas to
huge
come see the
shout
show.
out.
So
Yeah.
yeah, big shout out. It was a lot of fun. So thank you to everyone. We are going to be posting the Saturday show next week. So even though it says live, I would like to toot my own horn here and say that the sound is fucking impeccable.
It is,
It is.
great, and that's all thanks to Christina. Christina was the sound person on this, man.
yeah, you
Oh
killed
my
it.
God.
It was
So
really.
it's
sounds like
not-
a regular
it's-
episode.
It sounds like a regular episode. So you get to enjoy us live, along with a little bit of laughs in the background. But it's definitely if you're like me, sometimes I tend to turn off live podcasts. You're gonna want to turn this on because it was a lot of fun doing it in front of an audience. I will
Yeah.
have to say it was a different experience.
And our Saturday show, the fucking stories were so fucking hilarious.
they were bananas.
That's A, B, and C. My God, are you kidding me? Like that was
Yeah.
they're so
Our Saturday
good.
night stories
They're
are
so funny.
great.
Yeah.
They're great in that they're horrible.
Awful.
Oh yeah.
Horrible, awful,
Yes.
scary.
Yes.
I think the Friday night shows were good stories too, but the Saturday were just
I think that we gave both audiences what they came there for, and we
Yeah.
do want to do more live shows in the future. So if you wanted to come to this one, because I did have people contact me and say like, really wanted to make it out was out of town or whatever. We are going to do more in the future.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely keep you guys updated on that stuff as we move forward.
Yeah. London, we're coming.
And
Yes, if you guys have any leads, London, we see you. We see you second on our list of cities.
Yeah.
So if you guys have any leads on venues, we're all ears.
Yeah, hit me up.
we also want to give a huge shout out to as well to Keep It Weird and to Boobies and Newbies.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
And they opened for us on Friday and Saturday night respectively. And we're awesome. I'm
Fucking
so
amazing.
happy that we had them on. I think it's so important for like not only for like women to support each other, but also for like podcasters to support each other and anyone who's doing anything. It's just like bring other people in. There's so much like room for.
And everyone said what great lead-ins they were to our show. Like what great that
complimented us very well.
Exactly. It was both shows were very complimentary to each other and that it worked well together to have them.
So
they
if you guys
did a lot
haven't-
of work to
They did. Yeah.
to pick and so I can't thank them enough for being a part of this experience.
Yeah. So if you guys haven't listened to them, definitely give Keep It Weird and Boobies and Newbies a listen. If you want to hear me again, for whatever reason, if you're not tired of listening to my voice, I will be doing another episode with Boobies and Newbies with my other podcast, and that would go up sometime in March. So definitely give them a listen, and I'll let you guys know when that episode's going to come up too, in case you want to listen to it. But go support Kelly.
She's amazing.
Go support Kelly and Lauren and Ashley. Let's do our fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, because it's Oscar time.
Yes, it's Oscar time.
Oh, so excited. I love award season.
This is the second year in a row that I will be out of town for the Oscars, and I will miss the Oscar party that our friends have. And I'm bummed out.
Wait, we're having an Oscar party?
I'll
Yes.
miss the Oscar party as well because Fireman's gonna be.
Oh,
in
you
town.
have a male visitor.
She's got a fire.
It needs to be put out. Somebody please send us good fire puns. Please, fire sex puns.
This one, we got our fingers crossed.
Is he invited to your fire festival?
Oh my God.
But that's not good. You don't want it to be a fire festival because that's a disaster.
Exactly. Well, yeah, but
Hope not.
Is my vagina like the fire festival? I don't know. Viewers can discuss.
Fire FIRE or fire FYRE?
Which fire are we talking about?
Exactly.
They have
No.
different connotations at this point.
Very, very, very excited for that weekend. So I do not think I will be able to make it to the party. So, but yes, let's talk about the gentleman.
So we thought we would do Best Actor nominated Fuck, Marry, Kill. So I think we got to do Rami Malek because even though I'm not sure that I think he deserves to win the Oscar, he did win the Golden Globe and he's been cleaning up. I think he maybe won the SAG Award too. And I don't know. I liked Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know that I think that it was the most groundbreaking performance I've ever seen. But I like Rami Malek. So I think we have to include him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have to include
Bradley Cooper
for A Star Is Born.
Right.
Because he was drunk hot in that movie.
Yeah.
And then we are down between three. But you know what? We've talked about Christian Bale as Batman.
Yep.
We've talked about Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn.
Yep.
Who we have not talked about is Willem Dafoe. So,
All right.
I kind of feel like we need to throw him in.
Here we go.
So we've got Rami Malek, we've got Bradley Cooper, and we've got Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
Go.
Willem Dafoe looks like a human Pepe Le Frog.
He's very scary.
Oh, I
don't see Pepe Le Frog.
There's a weird. No, I don't either. I have a weird attraction to him. I don't know
Really?
why. Yeah, I think that
He scares me.
He's oddly attractive
Okay.
in like an odd way. But I like.
He's
odd.
your Crispin Glover.
He's my Crispin Glover. Yeah, because I don't think Crispin Glover is necessary. I
Yeah.
mean, he's okay, but he's just
Yeah. Dude, I get it. Crispin Glover is not everyone's cup of tea and he's fucking weird looking.
If I had
but
to pick, I would pick Crispin Glover over Willem Dafoe. But I will say there's something about Willem Dafoe where I'm like, I bet you'd be good to me. I don't know what it is about him
He
that I'm
seems
like,
like-
I bet you would be.
He seems like a genuine guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like a genuinely, probably a really nice guy.
Yeah, like he looks scary, but he's probably like
Yeah.
it's like, okay, I shouldn't say this because you don't. Anyway, he looks like that uncle that you had that you're like kind of scared of him, And then when you get to know him, you're like, oh, actually, he's like my favorite uncle. He always brings me candy or whatever. Because there's always like that person that you're like, you're scary, but you're actually the nicest. And that's probably him.
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to kill Rami Malek
Okay.
because I don't fuck 12-year-olds.
I'm offended right now.
I feel like he looks like he's 12.
He does look very young.
I'm not attracted to him at all. Not even in the slightest bit.
Okay. All right.
I am going to. God, I think that I'm gonna fuck Willem Dafoe just so I can marry Bradley Cooper.
Yeah. Are we doing? Let's ask. Quick question: are we doing the actors? Or are we doing the characters that they played in the film? Because
I think
this
we
is going
have
be
to do the actors because I don't know what Willem Dafoe did.
Okay.
So I think we have to do the
changes
actors.
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because
So
I'm
like,
not gonna
if,
marry
no,
Dick Cheney.
Well, he's not even in contention.
Freddie
Freddie
Mercury,
Mercury.
or freaking
That was Christian Bale.
Yes.
yeah.
I saw that movie. I saw Vice.
Vice?
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? All right. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna kill Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
I just don't feel it.
It's cool.
It's not my thing.
I feel like I'm going to be the most oddball one. I feel like mine is going to be the hot take.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck Rami Malek. It's he looks like I mean, all the interviews and everything I've seen, he looks hella awkward.
He's weird.
He's real weird.
He's weird.
He's gonna do some really unexpected things
Yes,
down
he
there.
is. Yes,
that
he
I'm
is.
just like, I've never thought to do
That
that,
man
or
is
put
strange.
that there, and that's okay.
Yeah, I actually, you know what? I didn't know my legs could do that. That's good.
This is good information for later.
Yeah, like I feel like he's very strange. Every interview I've ever seen him do, because unlike Cassie, like I actually think he's cute. Like I think Rami Malek is cute.
I don't think he's that attractive, but he's not bad looking, and he's just so fucking awkward.
I kind
that
of like that
kind
he's
of-
awkward.
Yeah,
I
where
like
I'm like, it puts me at ease because I'm like, dude, you're weird.
His
Like,
awkwardness bothers me less than his face. I think it's too
I do think that that's a hot take. I think it's a hot take that his face bothers you, but Willem Dafoe's face is fine.
spicy.
I know. I told you I had the hot take
I think
for
that
today.
that's a strange take for sure. Because that man's face.
And then I'm gonna marry Bradley Cooper. Good
Yeah.
fucking God, is he attractive in
Yep.
so many ways.
And he's like,
And
I've
he
also
just
heard
seems
because my
so nice.
a girl that I do her hair, she's told me she did something with him, and she said that he is also extremely fucking nice in real life. Like he's extremely.
Okay, here's
fucking
the
nice.
thing about Bradley Cooper. I need to process what I'm going to do here
Oh,
because
okay. Are
my
you gonna have a hot
instinct
take?
my instinct is to say what you said, Christina. But let me process this out loud for a second.
Okay.
The thing about Bradley Cooper, I believe he's very nice. I also believe he's the type of guy who would cash you in for a younger model eventually. Because
That is a hot
every
take.
time I've ever seen, I don't think it's that hot of a take because every time I've seen him, look at who he dates. Like everyone's
He's been with the same girl for
a
really
minute,
long time.
not a really long time, because he was dating someone. Because I remember there were those gross pictures of him with, I don't know if it was her when she was 19 or some girl when she was 19, and they were laying on the beach and she was reading Lolita, which is a little on the fucking nose.
Yeah, it's a little. That's a
but
little too on the nose.
He dates a lot of, which listen is fine, but he dates a lot of very young supermodels, which is fine. But I feel like a guy like that who's used to pulling that, I think he's a nicer dude than someone else who does that, which is Leonardo DiCaprio.
Ugh.
I
At least
think
he looks better doing it.
Yeah,
I-
no shit.
so. That's my concern with him is like, I feel like he would cash you in eventually. You know what I
but
mean?
then you would cash in.
Would you?
Yeah.
Women don't do the same.
No, I'm saying you would cash in
Oh,
like that money.
That
I'd be like,
motherfucker's gonna prenup you. Are you kidding me? Bradley Cooper is not gonna marry you without a
like,
prenup. No way. No way. Rami Malek might be awkward enough to marry you without a prenup. Like he might be weird enough to do that.
Rami Malek is the type that would like keep your skeleton around.
Oh,
like,
I mean,
no.
that's
Wear your skin
that's the thing.
like a suit.
That's the thing. I feel like Rami Malek is
He's
either
so
like
fucking weird.
he could be fun awkward or he could be so creepy,
creepy.
awkward.
Like you
Murder
would
awkward.
like
Yeah.
you would like wake up in the middle of the night and he's just standing over you, like watching
Yeah,
you, like
with those giant eyes.
No,
And so
no.
I'm like,
see, no, I feel strong in my conviction.
Yeah,
I
okay,
stand
you're
where I
right. All right,
stand.
all right. Here's the thing, because I do think Rami Malek is
you're
cute,
like,
and I
"Is
like
everything
him.
okay?
I like him.
And then you ran out of the
in
house.
interviews. I loved that thing whenever he tried to touch Nicole Kidman.
My God, I watched that like 100 times because who has
And I think
not
it's
had that
precious.
moment?
And I think his response is so precious because it's so relatable. Like, so at the Golden Globes, he was on the stage and he knows Nicole Kidman, so he was trying to like congratulate her, but he's like behind her and he keeps like trying to be like, hey, like to tell her congratulations, and she doesn't see him. So she keeps like walking away and he's like, excuse, and then he just kind of like awkwardly like turns and like puts his hands down because he's like, well,
This would be me
there's-
so
and it
hard.
makes me
Nothing
feel like me.
more uncomfortable
Like,
than
it's
like
what I
a
would
like
do.
high five, and then
No.
and then you're like,
No.
oh no.
Well, it was like
And then it's on
my
live
hug or
TV.
handshake situation at my job interview. And so
Yes.
there's part of me that's like, he's probably precious. Like,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I can take that risk because I think he rides the line between precious and serial killer.
Also
Yeah.
seems like the kind of guy, like kind of Christian Bale-ish, or
Gets
what,
too deep into
too
his roles.
deep into his
which
roles.
Bradley
Exactly.
Cooper
And
does
it's just
not
like,
do.
It's
Bradley
like
Cooper's riding the surface, and I'm like, I like that about you.
exactly. I'm
The
like,
most work you're gonna do is a
Tell
Sam
me
Elliott impression.
something.
That's the most work you're gonna do, and I appreciate
can live
that.
with that. I
Yes.
can't
Yes.
live with
So
whatever weird role
I'm
you're
gonna do
deciding
the
to
same
take.
as you. I am
Okay.
going to nothing against Willem Dafoe,
That's cool.
nothing against him,
No,
but
no,
yeah,
hot take. I get it.
I'm gonna not you personally, Willem Dafoe. I'm sorry, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Um.
He's definitely listening.
Yeah. If you're listening,
Oh my
we just
God, that'd
lost
be
a fan.
awesome.
If you're listening,
if
send
he
us
writes
an
you
email.
a letter.
I will
Dearest
reconsider.
Cassie.
I will reconsider
Good
my
choice.
take if Willem Dafoe writes us a letter.
Oh my God,
I will
totally.
reconsider.
You're
But
like,
yeah,
I'll marry him.
I'm gonna go ahead and kill Willem Dafoe. I am gonna go ahead and fuck Rami Malek. We'll see if that awkwardness pays off. Maybe when the bottom falls out of my marriage with Bradley Cooper, I can circle back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, circle back to Rami if it went
zombie.
well. Speaking of, I'll resurrect. Hi, you up? I'll send Rami a you up text
Been-
when my marriage falls
Been
apart.
thinking about you.
And yeah, I'm gonna marry Bradley Cooper because I feel like it will burn fast, but it'll burn bright. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? It'll be
Yeah.
fun.
He seems
Yeah.
like that person who's like super, super attentive.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
I
I feel like when he's in it, then he's gonna get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like while he's in it, we're gonna go on boat trips.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Yep.
fucking hang out on the beach.
Yep.
We're
He's
gonna play with
do
dogs.
like, oh my
It's gonna
God,
be
he's gonna
fun.
like cook dinner like shirtless.
Yeah,
and-
he is.
Well, that dog in Star
his
is Born was his dog. So I'm like, I get to cuddle with that dog. I'm like, all right. And I get to
Alright.
hang out with Lady Gaga. I'm like, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Can we be friends?
All right, exactly. We need to. I'd be friends with all of them, actually. Though
I would
Totally.
if I'm
do,
honest.
actually. I would do, actually. Willem Dafoe does have a sense of humor about himself that
I know.
that I
He'd be-
appreciate a lot.
He'd be
Right?
fucking
Yeah.
dope to drink like whiskey.
Oh
with.
my God.
Right?
Yes.
I think he'd be the smoke a joint with kind of guy.
Oh,
I
totally.
want to see Willem Dafoe on like a drunk history. Like I
Yes.
want to see him drinking whiskey,
Yes.
telling me something about
Oh
history. I think that'd be
my
amazing.
God,
Producers
I want
of Drunk
that
History,
so
can you make
bad.
this happen?
Yes. Oh my God.
Which, by the way, guys, I'm just going to put this out in the universe because I would love it to manifest itself. I would like to be just successful enough to be on Drunk History.
Same.
Like,
I feel like
think that'd be
every
so
single
funny.
podcast episode that we've done, I am Drunk History.
No, that's how I feel. I'm like, I just
Yes.
want someone to like spoon feed me wine and I'll tell you some dope ass history shit.
Yeah.
I think it would be so
Also,
fun.
though, I want to act it out too. I want to do that part.
We
where
can
you're
do
like-
both.
where you're,
Both.
like,
I'll do
miming
both.
with
Yes.
the shit they're saying.
Yes, I want to play on both aspects of it. But
Yeah.
yeah, if anybody who's listening is just like, I've got an in
Yeah.
at Drunk History,
Hook us up with that.
let them know about this podcast because I will. I'll feel like, okay, achievement unlocked if
Absolutely.
if I can get on.
Level up.
Well, awesome. You guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Yes.
Cool. Awesome.
And we're back.
We're all waiting for you.
I did not know we were back. I was like, what's happening? Okay,
Girl, that's your part.
All right. Well, I'm up first because I have the crazy in love today.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
This story comes from a submission we got from our website, and she said she'd like to be referred to as Bloronica.
Bloronica.
She said, in fact, if you use my name, can you please call me Bloronica?
I mean,
she said it would make my year.
yes, we absolutely can.
So-
Hello.
Veronica, how
here
you
we
doing?
go.
How you doing?
So she says, in October of last year, I was newly single. I left my husband of 6 years and decided I was ready to see what the dating scene was all about. My friends encouraged me to get on Tinder and just have a little bit of fun.
What friends you got?
Get on Tinder, have some fun.
Have some fun.
You know what? You've got friends who have not been in the dating scene.
Yeah.
I would have said that to you.
Exactly.
I would have been like, go do it. Like, I'm like living
Yeah.
vicariously. I'm like, have fun. Get
Tell
out
ya.
there. I don't know what kind of cesspool it actually is.
is.
Those are what
Yeah.
her friends are doing right now.
Yeah. She said, so I downloaded the app and started swiping. She says, by the way, do your fingers ever get tired from swiping left? Do you
Yes.
ever space out swiping left and
Yes.
stop looking?
Yes. Yes. That is so fucking on point. There's so many times where I'm like, I don't know where I've been for the last 5 minutes.
Have you missed have
You
you
could
missed
miss
some
the love of
great
your life.
opportunities just
pretty
swiping
much.
left?
Just swiping left.
know
it
what?
becomes
It's-
hypnotic after a
Well,
while.
is it one of those things where, like, has this ever happened to you? And I think I listened to a Stuff You Should Know that explained why this happened, but of course I can't remember now. But has it ever happened to you where, like, all of a sudden you're home and you're like, I've been driving for the last 30 minutes.
God, yes.
And I don't remember I
anything.
was not paying attention to driving at
Right.
all.
You're just so
You just
zombied in.
zone
Yeah.
out. And
I-
it's like, that seems dangerous.
I
doesn't
do
it?
that on the way
Dangerous.
home from work. I mean, I feel like that's something that happens with like a route that you take
Yeah,
like
your brain
day
goes
in,
on,
day
like,
out. and it's-
autopilot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Same thing happens with Tinder after you've
Yeah,
been using it
just
for a while.
autopilot.
You're just
Mhm.
like, no, 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 yes, no, no, no. It's
Right,
just
right.
like- yeah.
It's an algorithm.
It really is.
She says, I matched with a few guys and set up a date with one. He was a tattoo artist and was working at a shop that was really well known in the area. I loved his work, and as a creative person myself, I couldn't help but be interested, despite the fact that my friends had warned me to never date a tattoo artist.
I mean, here's the thing. Like,
I would for sure. I just want
as
more
a-
tattoos.
as a group of
Right.
artists,
Me
I
too.
feel like it could go either way. Like,
Well, it's the same reason why, like, I
Musicians.
tend to try to steer clear from musicians. I've
actors,
hung
I would say the
out
same
with
thing.
musicians my whole life. Like, yeah,
I understand it because I'm just like, and it's nothing against these people. Like, I'm an actor. Actors are weird. I don't know that I'd want to date an actor. As a musician, it's just like
Except that you are.
I've dated musicians. I mean, I am, but yeah, but like he's not a weird one. You know what I'm saying? Like tattoo artists, same. I can see that. Like artists in general, you're either going to get a great one,
Either get
or you're
him.
going to get somebody who's going to ruin your life.
yeah.
wow.
I mean, I like the idea if you're a super creative person, if that's like your bag, your pursuit and stuff. I feel like we're all weird. You got to find
the
your
right
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and also, like, I've met very, very normal. Like, there's normal of anything, but like the guy who did the tattoo on my side, he was so cool and chill and normal. And like his wife, he was telling me how his wife doesn't have any tattoos. He's covered.
Oh
and
my
his wife
gosh.
has none. I follow him on Instagram. They have a baby.
Aw.
It's like the cutest. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. If she felt it, I could see.
And I worked at a tattoo shop in Miami for a bit, and all those guys were total sweethearts. They were like old school gentlemen,
Nice.
like
I guess
really cool.
that's fair then. Yeah.
So-
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So far I'm team her.
Okay, cool.
Give the tattoo artist a shot.
Anyway, we decided to meet for lunch at a vegan cafe because he's vegetarian. I was more than happy to go somewhere with the healthy options because I am a very healthy, conscious person myself.
Great.
When I get there, he's really sweet and cute. He holds the door open for me and pulls open out the chair for me.
Tell
It
you,
seemed,
old school.
it seemed like he was being a gentleman for the first date and wanted to make a good impression. Very nice.
Aw.
We chatted about our lifestyles, which seemed to match. I let him talk first so I could be sure he was being genuine. He was. Our date ended quickly because he had to get back to the shop for a walk-in appointment. But that was perfect. On a first meeting, just a couple hours is good enough for me.
Absolutely.
But you guys, this is called my worst date, so
Yeah, and I was
We're
just
getting
going to
there.
say,
About to take a turn.
am I a first date? A couple hours is the perfect amount of time.
Yeah, totally.
So
Oh, you are about to have a first date that's about to last 48 hours minimum.
oh yeah, it's like 72 hours.
I mean,
I'm gonna
God
have
bless
a
you.
72-hour
shit,
first
that's
date.
Right.
well, if after the well, you know what? You should meet him. You can cut all this out if you
Is he
want.
staying with you?
But you
Mhm.
should meet him at a neutral location.
The
Like,
airport.
Well, no.
When I pick him up.
Pick him up from the airport, then do the thing where
go
you're
to
like,
lunch.
do you want
Go
do you want to
grab
go to
to eat.
lunch or go to dinner? Have a
Uh-huh.
couple drinks. Do that. If you're getting a weird vibe, don't take him back to your apartment. Be
Yeah.
like, I'm so sorry you came all this way, but
It's
I know
okay to
that
say
that's
that.
but
Yeah.
do that
It's totally
because
okay.
it's better to do that than to bring him into your house.
Yeah.
Yes.
No
Seriously.
shit.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
Anyways.
Bring him into this house because we'll be moving by then. He won't know.
Bye.
Like, I'm so sorry this is empty. I have no furniture.
You're like, I'm gonna step outside. I have to take a
Also-
phone call. Drive away. You just leave him in this empty house.
oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay, we gotta focus.
Okay, sorry. So we planned a second date. I said I would drive because we were making a trip over to Seattle and I was more familiar with the area. We went out to eat to another vegan restaurant and the food was great. We had a great time. We continued our evening just driving around Seattle and talking. I'm a chatty person and so was he. That alone was fun for us. But then he needs to get home, which I assumed would be close by the tattoo shop. So I asked him where I'm taking him. And he tells me this town that is in the absolute middle of nowhere and at least 3 hours from where we were.
Whoa.
He offered to give me gas money and I drove him home.
3 hours?
So-
Jesus.
No.
I decided to go ahead and take him home after a ferry ride and 2.5 hours of driving.
Fuck
We're
off.
out in the Olympic National Forest on a rumble dirt road where he tells me he's living in a van.
Oh,
I'm screaming inside. We get to his fucking van and he's living in a quote community with others who live in their camper vans.
no.
Oh
no.
my
There is
god,
a
it's a
cabin.
fucking cult.
It's a
share.
commune. You're gonna get Charles Manson. Get out of there.
I am sketched out. He invites me in his camper van, which is surprisingly clean. He gives me a beer and asks if we want to watch a documentary on his phone.
I was like, okay, he's got a TV in there. No.
So I'm tired.
How old are you? If you are older than 18, we are not watching a documentary together on your phone.
in the van.
So I'm tired from driving and I have a beer and start to watch this documentary. At this point, it's been a fucking long day. It's 3 a.m. I'm in a fucking camper in the middle of God knows where.
Murder.
And I'm just wondering how my life led me to this moment. I tell him I need to get home and how tired I am. He asks if I want to stay the night, and I tell him I really want to sleep in my own bed. That's the nice way of saying you live in a fucking van. No.
I'm
That
not
is
trying
correct.
to fuck
That
you
is
in
correct.
this van.
I'm
But
not
then-
trying to fuck you on the floor.
Exactly.
I'm not
No.
trying. Yeah.
No.
But then his phone goes off and hits his kid's mom, who apparently is living in a cabin on this property, saying that I
Ooh,
need
cabin.
to leave. I, of course, got out of there as fast as I could. I am forever scarred by Tinder. Clean-cut homeless men exist, ladies. Beware before you end up in their van in the middle of the
Here's
woods.
the deal with this situation.
Wow.
Once again, the question comes to us. What was your end game here?
Yeah.
Like, if this is your situation, okay, I have many questions.
Here's the thing. That's the thing. Like, if you are like a free spirit and you live
Open with that.
in a van in the woods, do you know how many people I know here in LA that would be totally fucking
There
fine with
are
that?
free-spirited
There's
20-year-olds waiting to
They
fuck you. They're
love
waiting
that.
for that
They
shit.
want
They
that.
eat it up.
Exactly.
So there's that. Also, does she explain how the fuck he got to work?
I don't know.
Who took him to?
I mean,
and
he's
why
clearly
are
got
you
a van.
working 3 hours away. One, why didn't you
It's
drive
mobile.
your? Why didn't you drive your van? Your home is mobile. Why didn't you drive your van to work? Two, if you didn't drive your van, how did you get to work? Three, why do you
how'd
work
you meet her?
3 hours away? Why do you work?
No, they're
2
3 hours away from Seattle. So they had went to Seattle for work or like as like a date. but I don't think
So
Seattle
he
is far,
drove
far
there
away.
to meet her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
do
very
you get there?
confused
Yeah.
by this whole
She
situation.
drove them to Seattle from wherever this town is that the tattoo
Whoa.
shop is, I'm assuming.
But the
Wow.
tattoo shop is how far away from his home?
That's
That's
Like that's what
still-
I mean. Like so
No.
he ferries to work every day?
I don't know.
That's bananas.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a no from me on every
Yeah, seems
fucking
pretty
level.
bonkers.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like you got to I'm sorry, public service announcement, you got to put kids on your fucking profile.
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you have to put kids on your fucking profile because you know, I've gone out on dates aplenty this year, and through it I found, you know what, like kids are a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
I don't
Unless
have
they're,
anything
like,
against
out
them.
of the house or
Unless they're, like,
something.
out of the
Yeah.
house, or that like they're older, but like you got a 2 and a 4-year-old with like another woman. It's just not something.
It's
nothing
just a layer that
against
you don't
you.
wanna deal
It's
with. Yeah.
a
It's
layer
too
I don't
complicated
want
for
to
you
deal with.
personally.
Put
And
it
yes.
on your fucking profile because it's a giant
Well,
part of your life.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and will be
And
for
should
the
be.
next
And will be.
foreseeable future.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
absolutely should
well,
be.
and for the rest of your
Don't
life.
waste
yeah.
my fucking time.
Yeah.
Please. Don't waste your time either.
And
because
here's-
when I find out, I'm going to be like, deuces.
Yeah, and here's the thing: like, you don't have to put that you live in a van on your profile, but you might want to bring it up at the 2-hour lunch date you
Like,
had.
do you like HGTV's tiny house?
Yeah. How are you feeling about survivalism? Is it on your list of to-dos?
What's his face? Bear McGinnis or
Yeah,
whatever?
Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls.
Bear McGinnis.
Bear McGinnis. Is he a hero of yours?
Do you like small screens? Are you one of the weird people who prefer the small screen to
Do
the
you
big
like
screen?
cuddling on a soup small twin bed?
What if he didn't even have a pop socket, so he's just holding it in the horizontal position to watch a
My
documentary?
arm's falling asleep.
Yeah, can we trade?
He leans it against like a cabinet.
Oh my God.
No, it's
It's
a
a
no
no.
on every
It's a
level.
no.
Listen,
It's a no for me. It's not a no for everybody,
not a
but put
no.
it on your fucking profile.
That's exactly it. It's like, yeah, I don't want to be shamey. I feel like I can get shamey, and like I don't mean to be shamey. Like, listen, you get into situations, you get into weird transitional periods
Right.
where like this is where you are in your life.
Right.
Just don't bring in someone who's completely unsuspecting into that, who drove 3 hours to
Right.
be there.
Right.
Don't do that to somebody.
You make
That's not
somebody
cool.
drive 3 hours, give them a hot
A
meal
heads
and a
up.
decent fucking bed.
And you got to give them a heads up of what they're going into, because it sounds like she
Yes.
didn't know
No.
until she got there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like that's not okay.
That's
Like,
not okay.
Because let her make that decision. Like maybe she likes you enough that she's like, I will fuck you in this van. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
You know? But
Yeah,
like
maybe heads up, like, hey, just so you know, I don't want you to freak out when we get there.
Right.
Like, it is in the woods. It
And
is
this
a van.
is my
it's kind of
situation.
it's a community of people. Or
you start driving me into the fucking Pacific Northwest woods,
yeah,
I'm
Yep.
about to get murdered.
Yep.
So
Oh,
many
amen.
murders have happened in the Pacific
So many
Northwest.
murders.
No.
We've
Thank
seen
you.
all those documentaries. We
Yep.
know
Yes.
what's up.
All right, so I have one that's kind of scary as well. So
Oh,
do we
no.
want to transition
Shit.
to another?
Go for it.
Okay.
Ooh.
So I met this guy online, and he begged me to come out to Los Angeles, where he lives, to meet him for months, but I blew him off. Good girl. Finally, I agreed. He literally seemed perfect, and when I finally met him, he was absolutely gorgeous, seemingly so sweet, and had a great job and nice apartment. Just in Los Angeles, that's a big
Yeah.
deal. Yeah. Just
So he's married.
everything. I remember texting my sister like, OMG, where is the catch? Well, the second day we met, we were driving around and he started asking a bunch of random questions about my ex. At first I answered because why not? But then his demeanor completely changed. It was like someone flipped a switch.
Oh,
like he was a
no.
different person. He called me a liar and started ranting about how he never trusts girls because we're all the same.
Oh,
What?
no.
Evidently, he somehow snuck away with my phone and snooped through my messages. He found a message from an ex that I hadn't deleted. I asked him to pull over and let me out. He wouldn't. I seriously feared for my life for a second.
Oh.
I was debating whether or not to jump out of the car.
Oh my God.
I tried to talk him down until finally he agreed to stop at a Starbucks. He, quote unquote, apologized, and I tried to enjoy the rest of the trip, but red flags all around. I wanted to ditch him right then and there, but everyone I knew convinced me to give him another chance because he, quote, probably just did it because he liked me so much and was insecure.
God.
Can we fucking
Yes.
not with
Never.
that?
Never.
Ever.
That
Ever.
behavior is so fucking toxic.
On both sides. On if it was a girl or a guy.
It doesn't matter.
Like, it doesn't
if
matter.
they go off on you like that, like in that way, when you just met them and when you're being completely vulnerable, you're in their hometown. You don't know
Correct.
anybody.
Right.
And he's not pulling over. He's not respecting you and pulling over when you ask him to.
Right.
Like, that's
your
scary.
gut,
He's
your
holding
gut
you
is
hostage.
there for a second. Your gut is your fucking lizard brain. That is a fight or flight response that kept you fucking alive, that kept your ancestors alive to procreate and make you. So trust that fucking lizard brain thing that says, I'm not safe here. If you're thinking of jumping out of the car on your
Right.
first
You
date,
are so
Get the
unsafe.
fuck
nope,
And-
the fuck out of that.
And she told me, because I wrote her back and basically said that, where it's like, I hate that, because that's how people end up in
Yep.
domestic violence situations.
Correct.
Yep.
And she said that, yeah, like her sister and like everyone was just like, well, you know, he's so good looking and he's so like successful. And
We
so
gotta stop talking
No.
about people because of the way they look. Just
well,
because
and
they're good looking
or
does not
because
mean
of
that
how
they're
much
good
money they make.
people.
Like
Right.
it doesn't matter if he's going to be abusive to you, which clearly,
yeah.
because
Wow.
that's your first
Could you imagine
in-person
that's your
interaction.
relationship?
Yeah.
Do you think that's gonna end?
No, in fact,
Yeah,
he's
that's
only going to
fucking
get a
end.
Yeah.
stronger.
Yeah.
Like, what if she had moved to Los Angeles for this person?
Oh my God.
And like, he's got you isolated now. He's got you away from your friends and your family. Like, and this is what he's giving you. Like, that shit is
Nope.
scary.
It's terrifying.
So she said she talked to him for a little while, but he ended up being a complete sociopath.
Yeah.
Wow, who would have guessed?
yeah.
Shocking.
So she broke up with him. And she said, too long to read. I almost got murdered by a guy I met online while driving around Beverly Hills.
Yeah. No.
Yikes.
Mine is, I love this one. We got this from an email. Someone emailed us and it says Country Bumpkins by the Fish Tank.
Okay.
So
Oh,
here we
man.
go.
I got a good visual. Here we
I
go.
know.
Right?
Hi, ladies.
Happened in Walmart.
I have to say, I love the podcast and it keeps me entertained on my commute. Oh, thank you. I'm glad we can
Thanks
help.
so much.
Yeah. Your great stories motivated me to send in my worst date. Hopefully this isn't too long. My worst date may be a bit untraditional. My husband and I enjoy an ethically non-monogamous relationship.
Cool.
Yes, we are swingers. Dude, like we said, no shame.
No.
All you got to have is consent.
If
and
all parties are having a good time, then
Exactly.
have fun, have at it.
I got my own thing going, that's kind of like that. It's like, it's fun. We have dating apps just like those who date more traditionally. Anyway, I kind of feel like those dating apps might be just as messy as the ones that we're on.
no.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sure they're all.
I would
And
love to
you've
take a
got
look at
more
this.
people involved in the situation,
Exactly.
which means like you're doubling the
You're-
chances of crazy. Like
Yeah.
for sure.
Exactly. Anyway, a couple reached out to us on one of these sites expressing interest in meeting. Their pictures were okay, and the few messages we exchanged were pleasant. We decided to meet at one of our favorite Japanese restaurants on a Saturday night. My husband and I are a little early. No big deal. Are you guys Midwestern?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Yeah.
There was a little bit of a wait for a table. The other couple texts us to let us know they have arrived too. We don't see them or anyone that looks like their photos anywhere.
Oh no.
They
Oh,
reply
no.
that they are waiting by the fish tank.
Oh no.
Granted, this is a gigantic fish tank, but the people standing next to it look nothing like the pictures.
Oh no.
They are both a considerable number of pounds more than they presented themselves. The husband was missing teeth, and the only other thing missing would have been a twig of hay in the corner of his
No.
mouth. Oh, no.
Honey. As someone from Southern Missouri, I'm like, I
know
know
those
you.
people.
I
know
know.
you. And again, we talked about the Walmart people on the sex swing earlier. It was probably these guys.
Well, and honestly, it's just there's a dog for every Beth.
That's
and it's
exactly
like,
right. But also be honest on your dating
Be
profile
honest
because
on
someone's
your
going to be
dating
fine with that.
profile.
Like someone's going to be fine with that. It's
I
going to be their
don't
thing.
understand what anyone's end game
I
is.
don't either. I don't
in
either.
that and being false about anything on your date. And I'm like,
I'm
so
nervous enough as is just by like I legit thought about it. I'm like, my new coworkers at my new job are going to find me on Facebook and they're going to be like, she looks so much better on Facebook than she does coming into the office every day. Like I'm paranoid about that, and those are actual pictures of me, current ones.
I know, and I'm
For
like,
reals.
are
You're
they-
not edited.
Yeah.
Real life pictures.
you guys know I've been on so many dates where like people do they have very outdated photos on
It's
there.
weird.
And I'm just like,
they
that's
think they're
so-
going to win you over with their personality.
I know.
There has to be no other explanation for it.
It's just a bad taste in your mouth. So don't ever fucking do it. So despite the bait and switch, we introduce ourselves, finally get our table, and proceed to have dinner with this couple straight out of Hee Haw.
Oh,
My husband and I have an escape word if a date isn't going well and we have
Smart.
no interest in
Nice.
taking it any further with a couple. After we order, I politely excuse myself to go to the ladies' room and quickly text my husband our Panama. Think Matthew McConaughey escaping the burning boat in that movie Sahara. I don't know what you're talking
I've
about,
never
but
seen Sahara, but I'm on
anything
board.
with Matthew McConaughey. It's
I'm
fucking
totally on
awesome.
board.
Not only was this couple unattractive, but they were so country and we couldn't sustain a conversation with them. So I get that. It's like you said, it's like, okay, you don't look like your photos, okay, but like
win
win
me
me
over
over with your
then.
personality
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
then too. But that didn't
No
work.
bueno.
We finish our dinner as quickly as possible, even pick up the bill and make an excuse that one of our kids isn't well and we won't be able to continue the date. Nice to meet you. We part ways. My husband and I decide we don't want to end our evening and decide to go hang out at our local swinger club. We can at least enjoy our night out and
Oh,
catch
no.
up with a few of our friends.
They show up. Don't
Oh
tell me
yeah,
they
I
show
feel
up.
it. I feel it in my bones.
We don't get out often. Let's still enjoy our night out,
I
right?
would do the same thing. I'm like, fucking yes. And I think they were very nice about it. They picked up the bill, and
They
I would make
lied
up an
about a
excuse
family
too. I would
emergency.
too. I would.
Well, guess who is there?
Oh, no.
You know, we're in a big city. There are lots of clubs. What is the likelihood that they
no.
would go to the same one?
Oh my god.
To add to my shame, the wife asks how my sick daughter is.
Oh.
All better, just overreaction. Yes, we are assholes and we pulled a Panama. We didn't want to hurt their feelings and avoided wherever they happened to be
I
in the
get
club that
it.
night.
Oh,
Thankfully,
no.
we've never run into them at any of the clubs since.
I totally get that though. I mean, I understand like you should just be upfront. You should just be like, you know what? I'm not feeling it. We're not feeling it. But like, to be honest, if I had an excuse like that, I totally would have used it because it's like, yeah, you had a nice dinner or whatever. You just weren't feeling it. You had an
Oh,
out.
I did it. I do that. I called the herd. That's what I call it. I called the herd this week, and literally, like my thing is either like last year it was like, you know what, like I thought I was ready. I'm not ready. I'm still processing my divorce, kind of thing. This year it was I started saying like, I've been seeing this guy for a while and we've decided to be exclusive, like
Yeah.
you know, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So that's
You have
my
an
my
out.
standard
A
out
good
now.
Mhm.
Which is absolutely not true. But
But
it's
it's a
easier.
good out.
I've never been able to tell someone I didn't
It feels
like
very
you.
harsh. It feels
Yeah.
harsh. to
Well,
be
because
just like,
I
I'm
know,
not
fucking
into
hard.
and I know that we should just do that. I know that
I
we as a
know.
society should just do that. But like, I also
But it
know that
feels
even
harsh.
if I
But
was okay with it,
Most people don't even do that. Most people
they
just
ghost
fucking
you,
ghost.
which I think is not okay. But like, even if I knew, I would not be mad at the person if they said that to me because I'd be like, you know what, that's your truth, that's fine. But I'm not gonna lie, like it would hurt my feelings. It would still hurt
Yeah.
me a little bit
Right.
to like know that like, oh, you just don't like me.
right.
You know, like
Right.
that would feel bad.
So
And
that's
it's
why I-
nothing
I
personal.
tried
and
to
that's
come
hard
up with
because
something that
that's
was
a
like-
hit to personal self-esteem.
Right. It's just your self-esteem. And it's like,
Yeah.
I know rationally, like as a rational person, like I'm like, I know that we just didn't fit. And that doesn't say anything about me
Right,
or
right.
about this person. But I think that there is something, at least in me, that inherently, maybe it's my Pisces nature, I want people to like me.
Oh yeah,
Right,
No, I
yeah.
think
I want
everybody
everyone
wants people
to
to like
like
them.
Dude,
me.
that's the best thing your husband has ever shared was that like book cover that he found online where it's like,
I
I'm not even
text-
good enough for myself by Capricorns. And I was like, I feel that in a real fucking way.
I feel like Pisces are kind of the opposite, where we're just like, like, it's like that thing I told you where you're like, somebody's in a relationship with you and you're like, I don't believe that you actually like me. Like, for like your whole life, you're like, I'm suspect. I'm side-eyeing that anyone actually likes me, like, for real, for real.
I'm an Aries. I can't understand why you wouldn't like me.
Oh, we need to spread that love around. Yeah.
I do spread that love around. I have doused you guys in all that love.
So much self-confidence.
She's like, what the fuck? I've given it to you.
No,
recognize it.
I've
shove it down your throat.
So much this year from you guys. So definitely.
Dive into New Jersey's rich history and diverse heritage. From colonial reenactments and Victorian architecture, scientific breakthroughs to the Underground Railroad, we're the crossroads of the American Revolution, birthplace of the motion picture, and home to the oldest lighthouse in the U.S. Explore our historic museums, view maritime marvels, and travel insightful itineraries. Learn more at visitnj.org/history.
What's our crazy in love this week?
All right.
Where are your murder notes, girl?
Here are my murder notes.
Yay!
Flipping them open. So, first of all, as you know, I spent you guys know. No one else knows. I spent the week in Vegas this week for work, which I fucking love. Shout out to my Vegas peeps. I love them so, so, so much. And I was riding around with my rep, Kara, who I fucking love. And she was like, and I was like, God, I forgot it's my turn for Crazy in Love this week. She listens to the podcast, so she knows what I'm talking about. And thank God.
She's like, what?
She's like, what are you talking about? Crazy in Love. And she was like, oh, girl, you have to do this Vegas story.
Oh,
nice.
Shit. Are you? This one I think is on my list to do. Tell me,
Is it?
Is it
okay.
Is it the bodybuilders?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Forget I said anything.
Is that the, the Marky Mark movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay. This is the story of Ted Binion, and I'm not.
Oh, I know Ted Binion. I grew up in Vegas, so yes, let's do this.
So
nice.
Yes, as somebody who grew up in Vegas, you probably were aware of this story.
Yes,
because Teddy Binion, or Lonnie Theodore Binion, he was born in November 1943. He was one of 5 kids. He was the son of Benny Binion. Benny
Binion. Like, fucking Christ. What?
Benny Binion is like a legend. He is one of the original pioneers of Las Vegas. He moved out to Vegas and Vegas was basically just a dirt strip of nothing.
Yeah.
He was one of the first people to go out there and really create what Vegas is today. He opened up a casino called Binion's Horseshoe. Horseshoe is still on, I believe it's on Fremont Street.
I think, yeah. Old school Vegas.
Old school Vegas.
That's my favorite
I love
part.
old school Vegas.
So he's like one of the originators of Vegas. I mean, like this is, I actually watched a 48 Hours mystery and they interview Wayne Newton and he's like, if it weren't for Wayne Newton, he'd be Mr. Vegas because he was like the guy. I mean, Binion's Horseshoe is known as
Binion's Horseshoe was a big deal when I was a kid.
Pin in this and talk for a second about Wayne Newton's motherfucking face.
Whoa, some shit has gone down.
Look at toy.
It's
so shiny.
It looks really painful. Like there is a
he barely moved it when he was talking.
Guys, hey, listen, both of you. I'm gonna scold you a little bit for not being. You were out of town. You were very tired, and I forgive you entirely. But like, neither one of you were with me on Sunday when we were watching the Grammys, and I was like low-key, high-key, because I was like, that person's had Botox. Lady Gaga's had Botox. Yeah. And I was like, low-key, high-key, I'm going to get Botox someday, like in my forehead. And the judgment I faced in that room.
What? Why? From who?
Because I'm apparently the only one who's like, look, I'm a little bit.
I know Chris didn't give you shit because I have for sure
Chris did not.
Dude, fake boobs. Liposuction, fucking injections.
Chris gave me no shit. Chris gave me no shit. But like, I'm just saying, like for me, like I have no judgment with plastic surgery.
No,
I will say, I think sometimes with the face, it does get to a point where I'm like, what's happening here?
I did just read something. Courtney Cox had all of her fillers like dissolved and taken out and everything like that because she said like at a certain point, like it starts to get she's like, I didn't even look like myself.
No, she
anymore.
didn't. Like that started during Friends, but but I have no judgment for those things. And
I know tons of people
whatever
that get
makes you feel
Botox,
good.
and
I had
whatever
no
makes you
fucking
feel
shame
good
about any of it.
But
Whatever
honestly,
makes
like
you feel
and
good
I probably
about
will
you,
do a
because
little
that's
in
all
my
that fucking
forehead
matters.
someday because I want to.
But
Like
they
I probably
start
will.
sooner because
Well, they do. It's preemptive. I tried to explain this to people on Sunday.
Yeah.
They didn't understand. They were like, "Yeah, you do it when you're older," and I'm like, "No,
No,
you
no, no,
should
no.
do it before you're 30."
No,
So
you
that
do it before the creases wrinkle.
because I have one. I have a wrinkle in my forehead now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yes, Wayne Newton.
Yeah.
I just had to go on that sidebar because you guys weren't there to defend
shiny
me.
fucking face.
I'm here to
man.
defend you, girl.
Thank
Don't you worry. All
you.
right. So anyway, Teddy, but Teddy, the son of Benny Binion, he is, this guy is like, Benny Binion is like the guy who created Vegas.
Benny Binion,
yeah.
Teddy Binion, like grow the fuck up, right?
Benny Binion, Binion's Horseshoe, they created the World Poker Tournament. Like this is OG Vegas, yo.
Yeah.
So anyway, Teddy was living the Las Vegas lifestyle, drugs, money, ladies. He's in his 50s, but he's
like, you know who my dad is? My dad invented this town.
You can just smell the like polo collars popped up. You're
oh
like,
no. But no, he really wasn't that guy. Like in pictures, he just looked like a normal dude. Yeah. I mean, he's and not to downplay all his problems, because he had major fucking problems. I mean, he was living that hardcore. It's hard to say, I don't want to say Vegas lifestyle, but because when you know that people that actually live there, it's not a Vegas lifestyle, but it's what the idea of Vegas lifestyle
and
is.
it's like, it's not just like a Vegas lifestyle. It's like he was raised on the Strip, essentially.
Yeah.
I think he really was raised on the Strip, and it's that rich kid lifestyle,
right,
combined with like neon lights. Like that's your situation.
Neon lights and
it's one thing if you have that rich kid's lifestyle in fucking Connecticut where there aren't
it's a different kind of shitty than it is like if it's not like to say one is better or worse. It's just like it's different. Like this is the kind where it's like fast paced drinking,
and vice is much more available.
A lot of time in Montana, on the farms in Montana. So he had a pretty normal life. His sister talks about, and they show pictures of them like on a ranch, and
sure.
So they actually had a very beautiful childhood.
I see.
However, in like I'm sure they're older, teenage into adult years. I mean, he's taking advantage of this lifestyle, and
anyone who grows up with that amount of wealth, like you are,
filth wealth, filthy wealthy.
I mean, I can't imagine how shitty I would be. Listen, being poor or being lower middle class throughout my life, and especially like in my formative years, shaped me into a much better person.
That's why we talked earlier about, it's like if you make comments about my place or whatever when I bring you in, I've done so much work. It's not like I have a lot of money.
I'm so vulnerable.
I'm so vulnerable because I've always been vulnerable or weird about my place because I grew up poor.
Yeah.
I grew up, and it really, really, like, I've worked hard to have the place that I'm in right now, which I think is fairly fucking nice.
It's
yeah, you have a great place.
And
I'm sorry, and I'll say it. I've already said this to you, but badass bitch. I'm sorry.
Holding it down
you
by
are
yourself.
holding it down
That shit's
by yourself
hard.
in Los Angeles, one of the most fucking expensive cities in the U.S., if not the fucking world. Like, honestly,
I get upset with myself that I let somebody fucking make me feel bad about myself or my situation, because I am. You're exactly right.
But that shit's hardwired, dude. Like, that's hardwired.
I'm killing it out here. I have my own place, which like there
No
are so
roommates.
many, no roommates, none of that shit, and I fucking pay all my bills.
and a dog and a cat.
And a dog and a cat. I take care of myself. I can still go out. I can still do things.
That's right.
Yeah.
I feel like growing up the way you did and living the way you live now, and same with me, I feel like it's shaped us to be a certain way. And I'm not saying that growing up rich can't shape you in a positive way, but I'm saying I think I would be pretty shitty if I grew up with like an exorbitant amount of wealth. I think I'd be shitty because I just wouldn't have an understanding. And that's not to say that people who grew up rich are shitty. I'm just saying, like, when we judge these
there's
people
who've grown up rich who are completely
of course.
humble and
Of course. I'm just saying, like, whenever we judge these people harshly, it's like, well, imagine what you would be like if you had that kind of like unlimited. You don't have to.
I'd be terrible.
I'd be the worst. I'd be
pretty
the worst.
narcissistic and selfish and impulsive. I would be
horrible.
the worst.
People would look at me and they'd be like, "She's the worst." I know they would.
yeah.
You know, Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. We keep
All
interrupting.
right. So anyway, so Teddy has been living the high life, booze, money, drugs, women, ladies, the whole 9 yards. Enter Sandy Murphy. Sandy Murphy grew up in Southern California, an only child to a working class family. Sandy decides to go to Vegas. This is her first trip away from home and away from her family. She's 21 years old, and she goes with a girlfriend that's 1995. She goes to Vegas with her girlfriend. She brings what she says is in her budget. In this interview that I saw her in, I was like, she talks like that.
Oh, it's a no.
And I brought $15,000 and then I spent it all in the first
Oh,
hour.
I want to punch her.
Oh my God, you will die if you have to.
Oh, I want to punch her
Yeah,
so
yeah.
hard.
She kind of reminds me of Anna Nicole Smith.
And if it's
Like
if-
you-
oh,
In the way that, like, you know that Anna Nicole Smith was kind of almost playing a character.
she was putting it on.
Yeah.
I feel like I can't tell if she's putting it on or she really is this kind of for real, kind of ditzy.
Sexy babies are my least favorite.
She's
It's the
sexy
worst.
I hate sexy
baby.
babies.
She's sexy baby. So Sandy, the sexy baby, brings $15,000 to Vegas with her, and she loses it all in the first hour playing blackjack.
What a maroon.
I'm sorry. She lost $15,000 in the.
First hour.
I get
So-
upset if I lose $15.
Oh my God, that's how I am.
I
I'm
know.
like, if I come out of
Girl.
this in the red, I'm pissed.
Do you know I have the best week ever if I find a 20 in my
oh
coat?
my God,
I'm
you're
like,
fucking, this is going to
I'm
be
a
lit.
millionaire.
I'm going to go get Chipotle twice. That's how lit this shit's going to get.
and we getting guacamole, bitches.
I told you I took out $40 to spend on Vegas because I at the end of our evening, a couple of the girls I was with, we went to like poker bar, and like they have these the poker at the bar, you know what I mean?
yeah, the video.
Video poker. Thank you.
Yeah.
God, I don't know why words are hard. And I won. I was up like $200 and some dollars.
Right.
I got up. What did I do? You know me. I love my fucking roulette. Go
I
hit that
love
fucking
it.
roulette
I love
table.
it.
Dude, I was even up on roulette. I was putting quarters in my fucking purse. I was hoarding money. I was up. And guess what? Went in, cashed that in, walked back, saw a girl that I liked from one of the roulette tables. I'm like, God damn it, I got to play again. What the fuck? I lost it all.
I understand. I totally
But you
get
had
it.
so much fun,
On
didn't
40
you?
bucks.
Well, and here's
40
the
bucks.
thing.
Yeah.
Like being $40 in, that's the price of having fun at the
Yeah.
adult arcade.
And
I know.
And guess what? Paid. I mean, how many drinks did I have?
Exactly. Like that's fine. If I was
That
if I
$40
lost,
lasted me 2 days.
If I did Vegas for $40, I'd consider that a motherfucking win.
Well, the last
For
time,
sure.
yes. I've done Vegas very well. I've never been out more than $100, like ever.
Yeah.
But like, if I lost $15,000, I would
Oh.
jump off of the top of the stratosphere. We're done here.
Oh my god.
I would
goodness.
feel so fucking
Oh,
terrible.
yeah.
There's no way I'd recover from that.
No.
Dude, I
No.
felt like shit when I was up all that money. I'd gone back to my room, by the way, and came back down, then played roulette. And I'm like, God bless it. Like, if I could have just I would one more night. Like, I could have just walked away up money.
Right.
But I can't fucking let it go. Like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
It's
this is why
Vegas.
That's
this is-
gambling.
This
Yeah.
is why you can't Vegas more than like 3 or 4 days.
Oh
Well,
no,
It's
not
crazy.
not on our
cannot.
budget.
No,
Yeah.
you
No.
cannot.
Not apparently not even with $15,000.
Well,
Oh,
if you're
God.
an idiot,
If you're-
she's an
yeah,
idiot.
exactly.
So anyway, she's out and busted, and her girlfriend suggested that they sell some of the custom lingerie that she has made.
Oh,
so they go
jeez.
to
This was your plan.
go to make some money,
Good
girl.
friend.
They decide that they're going to go make some money by hitting up some of the local strip clubs and selling the sexy lingerie.
I'm quitting my job because clearly, like, there's no reason I need to have an honest 9 to 5.
No,
Why?
you can
I
sell
know.
lingerie.
I
at
could just
strip
do
clubs.
this. Like, I
Right?
could just, like, wing it and fucking be okay, apparently.
Apparently,
Dude,
Anyway.
what were we talking about?
any rate-
About safety nets, man.
I guess.
Don't throw it away.
There you
Yeah.
go. So anyway, she said basically it was as simple as asking the bouncer at these bars and just come on in, and she just wants to sell her wares, and she's going to model it for them on the stage. Okay, so the funny thing
All
is
right.
this.
Right. Okay. So, guys,
The
if you didn't
multiple
know
articles-
that, I was doing the
Hand gesture.
blowjob motion in my mouth
Well,
because
and this is what I'm saying about the whole be honest on your profile. It's like dude, be fucking honest with yourself. Be honest with yourself that you went in to make money at like stripping, which is fucking fine.
Fine.
It's completely fine.
Honest work.
You don't have to lie about it, which makes her seem like a fucking asshole.
No, because we
funny
know
thing
she's
is, like,
fucking
her
lying.
talking about it on this story was fucking hilarious
I'll
because
model
then
it.
every other article you ever read, it's like she was a dancer.
No, of
which
course,
is
which is
fine,
Who
but it's
cares?
like,
Like,
who
right.
cares?
So was
Exactly.
I. Who gives a shit?
Exactly. And
So
it's like
what?
And
you-
it's Vegas, like that's good money.
Yeah.
You go make your
Exactly.
money.
Yeah.
Like that's
Exactly.
fine.
So
I would do it if I could dance. Honestly,
Oh, I did.
I can't fucking dance.
I got no
can't. I'm
boobs,
so awkward.
so-
It's like a
I didn't
lane
either
up
then.
there.
There's a body type for everybody.
That's true. Okay, anyway, we gotta
Anyways.
focus. I'm sorry.
All right. So this is when Sandy meets Ted at Cheetah's. She says the attraction is immediate. She is attracted to his big personality.
His money.
Like his big
But
wallet.
she said that at the time she just knew him as Ted. She didn't know anything about him. She wasn't from there. They just shown up. They don't know. She doesn't know anybody from anybody.
She just knows somebody
here's the
like
deal.
throwing a bunch of money on the stage or whatever. And
here's
you
the
can
deal:
kinda
those other
tell.
girls know who he is.
Yeah,
they
right.
have to. Like
She
the people
knew.
you're working with know who that is.
She knew he had money.
And so she might have been attracted to him right away, but then she went backstage and was like, "Oh, this guy," and then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's Teddy Binion." Immediately, like
Yeah.
there's no way that didn't
For sure.
happen.
Exactly.
But at any rate, she said she's attracted to his big personality. But again, Ted isn't just Mr. Personality. He's Mr. Vegas, and he's Vegas royalty at that. So Sandy was soon dating and living with Binion in his $1 million home. Ted is in his 50s at the time, and Sandy is in her 20s. So, yeah. Ted has all the money and all the problems. He has a serious heroin addiction. And yeah, so when I said he was drugs, money, all that stuff, the drugs that he was taking were heroin.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
that's a
It's a different level of drugs.
That's
it's
a
like
different
it's not
level.
just like a cocaine habit, or which is bad enough.
Just a
Well,
cocaine
but I
habit.
mean, like I don't know. I feel like when you think about partying, you think
Yeah.
about like those people get like hooked
there are
on cocaine.
definitely levels. Like it's like definitely like coke or Molly or like all those things, like those party
when you
drugs.
jump
it's
to
like
heroin,
one thing.
it's
When
like that's
you
death or
jump
getting
to like
sober. Like
heroin,
that's what that
meth,
is.
crack,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. It's like
Yeah, his issue with heroin, his favorite that she said is he really liked the black tar heroin.
oh
Ugh. And he did what was called chase the dragon. So if you're familiar with heroin use, this is not when you shoot it up. This is when you
Smoke it,
burn
or-
it, and inhale it.
Yeah,
right?
okay,
So
yeah.
it's more
Jeez.
like yeah.
Yeah, it's what
So-
they used to do in like opium dens.
Right.
Yeah.
But it becomes a big problem. But in the meantime, Sandy's like living it up. She's got a Mercedes. She's got
She's like,
jewels,
I don't care what he does.
a spending
I'm
account.
having a good time.
Yeah, and he doesn't give a shit either because he's like, I got this hot bitch on my arm.
yeah.
So you know what? They're both getting exactly
It's a
what they
what they
deserve.
wanted.
transactional
Exactly.
relationship.
Yep.
So, but because of Teddy's heroin addiction, as well as his connection to some mobsters in town and things like
Right.
that, the casino commission is fed up. So they basically ban him from his gambling license and ban him from entering his casino at all.
His
So-
own
his own
casino.
casino, which
Wait,
he's
on
a
what
part
on what grounds?
because of he has a
In his drug use?
drug use and yeah.
do they
so he
care?
he's been arrested for this.
Well, and it
But
might
you
be
can't-
if he's making a big scene in their
You can't.
establishment, that could be an issue.
And you can't be friends with fucking mobsters and be running a casino. Like this is a
running
big
it.
fucking,
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah.
meant like entering it. I was like,
No,
oh, what
he's
is
not
Vegas?
allowed-
He's not allowed
Vegas
to
gonna
enter.
like
no, he's not allowed
bar
to enter.
most of the people that like
Well, but I think
No,
it's
he's
different
not allowed to
if,
enter
if
his
your
own
name's
casino.
on
Yeah.
the door and that's,
That's
your
it.
behavior.
Right.
Like I think that's a PR problem.
They
for
strip
him
him
at that
from
point.
his license, so
Okay.
he is no longer allowed to enter his own casino. He actually has to sell. I think he ends up having to sell up his shares to his brothers or what's left of his sisters and brothers, and basically get out. But he's not even, like I said, not even allowed to enter his own casino at this time. At the same time, his drug addiction spirals because you know this is what he's lived for. His whole life has been this casino and been part
now
of
he
this
has
casino.
nothing
Now
else
he-
to do in his day but drugs.
Yeah, pretty much. And so
Well, and he was knee-deep in drugs already.
Two hobbies,
yeah,
and
one's gone.
one's
Well,
gone.
And imagine like you don't lose all sense of shame entirely, like when
Right.
you're in a drug spiral. So
When he doesn't lose all his money either, he's still fucking
yeah,
filthy.
so you've got
Yeah.
tons of money, and also you're also having to live with the shame of this thing that your father built.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like you are so fucked up that you can't get your shit together enough that this has happened.
Yeah.
Like I mean, at that point, like you're just like, I just want to forget all about this. I don't want to live with this.
I had the best conversation last night with a friend. I'll bleep his name out. I talked with called me last night, and I was talking about like knowing what I should be doing. Like in my head, I know all the things that I'm supposed to be doing that are good for me.
Mm-hmm.
Exercising, cleaning my house,
Of course.
meditating, all these
Yeah.
fucking things that you're supposed to be doing. And that makes it like almost worse, because like then I get into this guilt spiral
Of course.
being like,
Then you
oh,
do
I'm
nothing.
not doing this.
You
I'm
become
not doing this,"
paralyzed
and you become
completely.
paralyzed by it.
Yep.
And he said, you know, like it's just really fucking hard.
Yeah.
And that like hit me so. He's like, that it's okay. It's really fucking hard. And he's like, and you're not always going to do
Yeah.
the right
and-
stuff.
and
It's
And guess what?
okay.
It's okay to feel the feelings you're feeling.
Because it's so amazing, because
It's okay
so many
to.
people don't say something like that, where they're like, it's okay. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Or it's not fair. Because so many people, we have love and we want to help,
Yeah.
and we offer advice and everything like that.
Yeah.
And sometimes that's almost worse.
Yeah.
Where sometimes the best thing you can say to somebody is exactly that. It's,
Yeah.
that's not fair. Or,
Yeah.
you know what? It is really hard.
And it's okay to feel like it's not fair.
Yes.
It's just okay to feel that way.
yeah.
You're allowed to feel that feeling.
Yeah, no, I get it with like I understand how it can spiral in this way, the way that it's spiraling for him. And I understand that it can be very easy to like cast judgment, but if you're already like knee deep in a drug addiction,
It's an addiction. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
an addiction one, and now you've got so much shit on top of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That like you're also having to contend with. So
So now no longer are you knee deep. He's like waist deep.
right, and
And
I know
it-
that
yeah.
this can come across as me being like, "Oh, poor little rich boy, like you had so many problems." But like,
I mean, honestly, this guy, if we're being honest, he's had a heroin addiction problem since he was 17 years old. Can you fucking imagine being 55 years old and still doing heroin?
Yeah,
No.
I think of some of my habits that I've had
I
for
know.
like 20 plus years. It's like that shit's deep in you.
Yeah.
And that's not heroin.
you
No.
lean on whatever you've leaned on.
Yeah.
So if he's leaned on heroin since he was 17,
jeez.
if you're going through a tough time, it's going to be impossible to quit it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
On your own? Yeah,
Yeah, like, no.
absolutely.
But Teddy is super in love with Sandy, and at this time, Ted has written Sandy into his will. He
Rut-row, Rorge.
right.
Yeah.
Red flag!
Teddy then also around that same time meets this guy named Rick Tabish. They have common interests. But he is also a convicted felon for theft. Ted befriends him, and they start giving, and Ted starts giving him odd jobs, including building a vault in a nearby town called Pahrump. Have you heard of Pahrump?
I have.
Pahrump
Yes.
is like where all the cat houses
Yeah.
are. I don't know why. I don't know what else to call
You're
them.
like,
brothels, where the brothels are.
You're whispering. Yes.
I know,
Yeah.
Because I was like, cat house seems like not the right word.
It's
It's a brothel.
it's very like Wild West of
I
you.
know,
to be
I
like,
know.
down at the cat house.
Yeah. He's good. Yeah. No, I was like, what the hell are they called? But out there, it's like literally, I've been out there. There's literally nothing. It is like one small strip and like this, like
It is the Wild
it
West
is
kind of.
literally the Wild West.
Yeah.
It is nothing, and it is sand and desert and mountains, and it's the craziest place you've ever been. And he owns this property between like basically I think it's like a Burger King and a casino that's out there, and he has Rick build this vault in which he wants to keep money that he has taken out of the casino that was his. Not just
Everything
money,
about this sounds like a terrible plan.
silver bars, cash.
What?
Yeah,
Are you a Monopoly?
a
like,
rare coin collection, diamonds. I mean, it's crazy.
He's like,
All right,
Rick.
listen.
So,
I'm willing to give
silver
Teddy the
bars-
benefit of the doubt, but I'm also like, Teddy, are you You sound like someone who stopped maturing mentally at 17. Like, that's what you sound like. Like, you sound like you didn't.
They said that the
maturing.
silver bars, I think alone, they said were worth almost $7
so
million.
dumb. It's so dumb.
God, poor
Okay.
baby. Oh
Poor
my
dumb
God.
sweet Teddy. Okay.
So, all this is happening. He's, befriended this Rick guy. Rick's his buddy. And, all this is happening. All these things, are kind of coming to the surface. He's like spiraling out of control. He also kind of starts to get the feeling that Sandy may be having an affair and
With
maybe
Rick?
cheating on
Question
him with
mark?
Rick. And yes, and he has told his sister, he told his attorney the day before that, before to take her out of the will, and he tells his sister, his sister says that Ted told her if it ends up he's dead, she knows who did it. The next morning or the next afternoon, September 17th, 1998, Sandy calls and says she has found Ted cold on the floor surrounded by pill bottles. The police...
I think I remember that because I was 8. I was still living
Oh,
there.
it was like huge.
It was huge.
Huge Vegas story.
Huge Vegas
like
news.
crime of the century for Vegas.
Yeah.
He sounds so lonely.
Yeah.
Like, it makes me sad for him because I'm just like, clearly, like, you don't surround yourself with people like that who you can buy, essentially. Like Bono said once, where he's just like, if you look around the room and all of the people who are eating next to you are being employed by you, then like that's when you know you have a problem. And I'm like, not that they were being employed by him, but clearly, like, they're using him for
money.
something. And like, that's so sad.
That's for sure what the sister is, and that's what the family is like from day one. Is like she's after his money. She's after his money. She of course is like, of course
I
not.
loved him.
I loved him.
Listen, Anna Nicole Smith said the same thing, and I love her, but like, come on.
So they do find his body. They find pill bottles on the floor. Again, he's a well-known heroin addict. He's been using again since he's 17
So like
years
1
old.
+ 1 = 2.
Right. And the police basically are just like, this is an open and shut case, likely an overdose. And the coroner concludes so. But then after an autopsy, they find that heroin and Xanax were found in his stomach. And they now classify it as a homicide because, and one of the guys on the 48 Hours I was watching, he said that he's like, people who use black tar heroin, he's like, there's multiple ways to use it. He's like, you're not going to eat it. You're not going to ingest it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
He's like, nobody would waste it in that way. He's not that kind of user.
He wasn't injecting speed into his stomach like Jerry Lee Lewis.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Oh, God.
Injecting
Ugh.
heroin straight into the stomach.
Right.
Oh.
Just saying.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing until
Yeah.
we looked
Yeah.
at Jerry Lee
Neither,
Lewis.
now that you say that. At any rate, at this point, because they find this, their like suspicions start to swirl. Rick Tabish is caught out in Pahrump with a tractor in the middle of the night, 2 a.m., with a loading silver into his truck.
What?
An officer
Sir?
pulls up because it's like fucking basically like just blank land. You're
And
going to
they're
see a fucking motherfucker out there with a tractor.
You're gonna hear it. You're gonna
Yeah.
see it.
So the
Yeah,
cop
all
pulls
the
up.
things.
Cop pulls up.
Hey, what
and,
you doing, buddy?
Yeah. He's like, yeah. He told the officer that he was getting it for Ted's daughter, Bonnie, at 2 a.m. like
At
you
2
do.
in the morning, as you do.
And he goes, and the funny thing is the cop was like, he goes, have you told the family that you're getting it? He's like, no, I haven't called them yet. And he's like, oh, of course not.
Why
You know?
would you? You're going to surprise them. You're going to put a big bow on it like you
Yeah.
do on those cars on Christmas morning and be like, surprise! Millions of dollars worth of silver.
Rick is arrested.
Yeah. Shocker.
Yes, sir.
And guess who bails him out?
Sandy.
Sandy
Is it
Murphy.
Perchance?
At the same time, though, you guys, I was watching, like, I read a bunch of articles as well. So most of some of it comes from Wikipedia, some of it comes from Sun Times, some of it comes from different articles that I've read from different places. But one of the things that I saw on the 48 Hours show that I was like, had me shook. there's a fucking video that her attorney videos her walking around the house like manic, going through shit like, this is mine, I'm taking that, and she is just like inventorying the house like
Yikes.
Before he died or after?
After he died.
So it seems like she wouldn't have known that
In
it
a
was coming.
hyper manic state. No, after he's dead.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, if she knew it was coming, wouldn't she have already put her ducks in a row? Like, if she's
right.
manic after he's dead, that seems like she's trying to get her hands on as much shit as possible.
Right.
So either she's a very bad planner, which it
I
sounds
think.
like she could be.
She loses 15 grand in a day.
Right.
She also
Yeah,
might
so
not have known that day before that she was written out of the will.
Or that.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true. Okay. Fair enough.
Because she
Yeah.
was in the will. He wrote her off out of the will literally the day before she killed him.
Okay. So maybe, yeah, it threw a wrench in her plans. Okay. I see.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, who knows? I don't know. Anyway, okay. So, I told you about the sister says that she's like, if he ends up dead,
This dude did it.
you know
Yeah.
it's her
Yeah,
that
yeah.
did it. But Ted had apparently had millions of dollars, not only in this vault, but also had apparently had millions of dollars in his home, stashed away in different areas, hiding places. There's like rumors that he has some kind of hidden treasure on his
Treasure?
on his property. So like this is like all part of the lore of his house, like this lore that's hanging over his property is that he has these like there's different mounds in the yard and we're certain. And again on the 48 Hours show, they do at the end of the show go treasure hunting. It was the dumbest thing. Ugh, God, I know. Anyway,
Well,
and I'm like, I'm
who
sorry.
owns that many silver bricks, I don't blame them for thinking like there might be something
There
buried
may be.
on this property.
Because
Definitely
definitely
cougar ants.
Like this was a Vegas
There's
pirate.
still millions of dollars in missing things. But I'm sorry, if you've lived with him for so many years, I'm sure that Sandy
was
knew
stashing it away.
exactly where all this was.
Yeah.
She's playing that long game. Why? Okay. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
So anyway, on June 24th, 1999, both of them were arrested for murder in the first. Sandy and Rick seem very openly in a relationship at this time. In some of the video they showed, she's like holding onto his arm. They kind of, are constantly touching each other. It's very awkward.
She sounds real dumb.
One of the key witnesses, which I believe her name was Deanna Perry, she said she was her nail girl, and at the time said that she that Sandy had told her when she was getting her nails done that he wouldn't be around that much longer. One of the forensic pathologists.
Why do you tell your nail
So fucking dumb. Like, I don't know. Listen, I know what it's like to be awkward. Like when, like if you go alone to get your nails done and you're feeling real awkward and you might like overshare.
Oh, yeah, I'm a hairstylist.
I get
it.
that, but like this girl is stupid.
Yeah, wait
Yeah.
for it. Forensic pathologist says that not only was he overdosed, but likely killed by burking, which is a form of strangulation that is not very detectable.
Birkin hair. I know what it is.
So, yeah, it's basically a method where you can strangle somebody, but there doesn't leave any marks, really.
Yeah. So, fun fact: this came from a pair of Scotsmen. Did you not know this?
No.
Okay. Birkin hair were a pair of, they were Irishmen in Scotland or in England, but somewhere in like old timey when we needed to use cadavers for science.
Mm-hmm.
And so they made a lot of money by killing people
Yep.
and bringing in their bodies.
Yes, I do know
and
the story.
the first time they brought in a body they'd obviously killed, the doctor was like, thanks for this body, but also I'm only going to give you like a little bit of money for it because you fucked this body up and I know you killed this person, but I'm going to look the other way.
Right.
So ever since then, there was two of them and one would sit on the chest while the
Yes.
other one like suffocated them so that there wasn't any, like they compressed the chest so that there weren't
And they
any
cover,
marks
like, yeah.
of like
It was
of
like
death.
they were playing the pass out game.
Yeah,
that we used
they
to
were
play
like,
in-
they'd get them real wasted first,
Yes.
and then they would like sit on their chest until
What was
they
that?
died.
Was that a case file episode
There
or was
was-
it?
I've heard that.
There was a lore episode on it, and there was also I think My Favorite Murder did it when they were in.
Okay.
When they
yes,
were in.
yes,
Okay.
it was an MFM. Yeah, I was like, we just listened to that. not long
Anyway,
ago.
fun history fact.
Love
Birkin.
it. Anyway, so the forensic pathologist is saying that this is a very likely way that he died. Like basically they're saying like this overdose wasn't taking fast enough, so to expedite it and make it move forward faster, he believes that they used this Birkin method to kill him. And after 8 days in deliberation, the jury finds them both guilty of first-degree murder. Sandy, I think they're both given 25 years in prison or something, 25 to life or something like that. But Sandy writes Alan Dershowitz, who is agreed to spearhead her appeal. So I don't know if you know this name.
It sounds familiar, but
O.J. Simpson.
oh, for fuck's sake.
So Dershowitz basically is like, this case is, you're clearly not guilty. I can't believe
You're so pretty.
So
How
Can I
could
have
anyone so pretty?
some of those silver bars?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're so pretty and you have so much secret money.
So
Could I have some of that secret money?
So she gets a new trial, and her and Rick both get a new trial. Rick's attorney, by the way, is this guy from San Francisco. Sarah, I believe is his last name. Fucking banana slacks. This guy he has like long white hair and a
Total
ponytail.
hamburger.
And I'm telling you, dude, if you don't watch the 48 Hours Mystery just to fucking see this, you're truly missing out. This guy was like, he used to apparently he would represent like Hell's Angels and all kinds of shit. Like he's just this wild guy, and him in court, I'm like just shook watching. Like it's worth watching just for that. Like I said. So some of the things that come out of court this time, Deanna Perry says she was paid. Her the family of the the Binion family had paid her $20,000. The Binion family said that it was a reward for information.
Is that the nail tech?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also, the said forensic pathologist only went off of pictures. He didn't actually examine the actual body. So there's a few things in there that were like, people were like, that was a little suspicious.
I hate when things are unclear.
Uh-huh.
I don't like it.
I know, because the thing
If
of it is,
you can't
it
get the
seems-
conviction, you can't fucking make shit up, and
Yeah.
that's the problem, because
Yeah.
that's the thing is
all of
reasonable
this is
doubt
very
is
circum-
reasonable doubt.
This is all very circumstantial.
Correct.
The only real thing that they have to think that in which it's murder, and I think everybody
Is the
believes
heroin in his
it's his
stomach?
stomach.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Heroin
That's
and Xanax,
Yeah.
both in his stomach.
you don't all of a sudden decide like, I'm gonna eat this heroin.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that to me, I'm like, well, obviously there's something very fucking fishy that happened, but if that's all you have to go on, you can't. I mean,
you
that's the
can't
way our
put
fucking
someone
society
in jail
works
for the rest of their life,
Yeah.
even if they did it. Like,
Yeah.
that's always how I feel about these things. Where I'm just like, yes, it would suck if this woman fucking got away with this shit, and that guy got away with this shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, we always have to err on the side of not putting an innocent person in jail for the
Correct.
rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Like, we
I know.
can't do that.
Yeah.
I know, but then it's hard to, I mean, not that I think in this case that they're going to end up killing again, but it's hard in the cases where you do see somebody who
know.
does end up fucking killing people again because they weren't.
It's an imperfect
hard
system.
It is an imperfect system. That's
But
the
it's the
tricky
best
thing.
we have because we're imperfect
Yeah.
creatures, you know?
So at the end of the day, they do succeed in overturning the conviction. It's a not guilty in murder. The jury does find them guilty, however, of stealing the silver robbery. Sandy gets out on the time served, but because Rick Tabish has a prior conviction, he was in prison a little bit longer. They're both out now. The silver from the Pahrump vault did go to Ted's daughter Bonnie. A large amount of the wealth that was found, like some of the there's some bars of silver, there's some of the coin collection, some of that stuff is still actually unclaimed at the courthouse currently. And again, people claim
I need to hop on Ancestry, right?
Yeah,
I'm
I
a
mean,
distant cousin.
Listen,
I
I
claim
used to
this.
live there. Is there a 7 degrees
Yeah.
to Teddy Binion?
Dude, if money is just sitting around, can you make a I got a claim. I'm not related to this dude, but
Right?
can I just
Well,
have it?
I feel like
Can I
bullshit.
have it?
Dude, why didn't his daughter just go get it?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I feel
how
like
I
she should
feel.
get
Maybe
it.
she just has enough money that she don't care, which must be nice. But like, I feel like there should be a thing that if large amounts of money are sitting for a certain number of years, that it should just be donated to the city for like either
I
like.
think it should just automatically go to the next of kin.
I mean, that's fine, but also like.
Yeah. Because I mean, it is
Vegas
family.
could use some new roads. Like they could use some education.
Yeah,
they
but
don't need any
that's
more.
the
Like
thing. You look at like city governments, like Bell, for instance, here in California, where they were so fucking corrupt, and they were like, it's not like they were using the money for anything.
no,
good
absolutely.
or whatever.
But that's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
Next,
I think
next to
I
kin,
think that there should be a law.
just money sitting
but she
there.
clearly doesn't want it. So I think like if I think there should be a law that's
I
like
think they should just give it to us.
If
That's the
this
law.
money,
Give it to
fine,
us.
give it to me. But like, if this money is unclaimed, donate it to Las Vegas schools.
Yeah.
Donate
Yeah.
it to an inner city program. Like there are people who
Exactly.
could really benefit from it more than Bonnie Binion, and I'm sure she's a lovely lady. But like, there are poor people who could benefit from that money.
Correct. Yeah.
Give them that money.
But again, there's still a claim that there's buried treasure on his property. Nothing has been found.
Guys, want to go treasure hunting?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Rare coins and miscellaneous other fortunes are still at this time considered missing. So I believe if I'm a betting girl, which we know that I am now, my money's on
Sandy?
my money is on Sandy. Stash some of that.
But do you think she's?
However,
but do you think
she-
she's smart enough? She's. I don't know.
She there's that too. Maybe Rick did, but I will tell you that she is not living a sad life any longer.
Of course
She
not.
is married to an art dealer and now lives in Orange County. And on the show, she was driving a beautiful Porsche.
I gotta tell you guys,
Cayenne.
I will say
My dream car.
she's clearly not super smart, but I will say I wish I had 1/10 of the charisma.
Yeah.
Women who are able, or men, like people who are able to do this, where they can just go from like one super rich person, like that's how they make their fortune is just by like playing.
Being
rich
lucky.
people.
It's not through charisma because you're very charismatic.
Thank
That's
you.
not a quality that you're lacking. It's that you have an influx of empathy.
That's the problem.
You have a moral
have
compass
a-
that points somewhere towards north.
Exactly. It's literally like
Your guilt would
it's
kill you.
almost too much, and it's almost it's I have that too, and it's like
Yeah,
we
you
care
couldn't.
too much about other people.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
to
Too
much.
pretend like I'm a cold, heartless bitch, but I'm also.
I would
the
start to feel
detriment,
bad if
yeah.
I knew that Teddy Binion really loved me and I was just fucking playing him. I would start to feel
if you
bad.
were with Teddy Binion, you
Yeah,
would
Binion.
do everything
Yes.
in your power to save him.
Oh yeah.
Right, I would get wrapped. Even if I started out just like I'm going to use this motherfucker for his money, I don't care what happens to him.
Oh,
There's
no.
no way. Like once I got to know someone as a human being, I'd be like, I'm stuck now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would be using all of that money and everything like that to put him into programs and to try to help him. Like that's the kind of
Yeah.
person you are. But instead, this
Thank you so much.
this fucking bitch. I'm sorry. Even if she didn't kill him, like at the very least, this is somebody that
How do you
that
get-
obviously was like really trouble and was like, have fun doing black tar heroin.
I'm gonna go shopping.
I'm gonna-
Bye.
bye.
How could?
Thanks
But like,
for the
how do these
money
people
fund.
find? It's just like when we talked about Jerry Lee Lewis getting married 7 times. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
how does I know normal, happy people, good people that can't get a date, and I'm like,
Have you met my friend
hey,
Christina?
you go on dates at least. Like
Yeah.
I know good people, like nice people
Yeah.
who like can't get a date, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
no, me
these
too.
guys get married 7 times. They marry rich people. I'm like, that's bizarre. Like it's
Yeah.
just so weird.
That's a level of sparkle that I don't know about.
Yeah, like I don't know.
Well,
You got
hit
some
the nail.
shine.
We've called it before where, you're right. I don't have problems getting a date. I've lamented the fact of like a lack of relationship. It's literally a just anything will do kind of
For
kind of
these
thing.
people, and they're
Yeah,
willing to
yeah,
mold
yeah.
themselves.
This
They're
is
willing.
fine.
I mean, she must be totally willing to mold herself to
Right.
whatever, as long as she's
Just
getting what she
fake
wants
it until you make
monetarily.
it. Yeah, exactly. Where I'm like, there are several situations I could have gotten myself
Oh,
in
absolutely.
this year.
Oh yeah.
that
I
would've
know.
been- that were like,
Christina, we
would've
could have
locked
been
it down.
kicking it poolside like hardcore in like Malibu this summer had you
know.
just
I
gotten a
couldn't.
little bit of that Sandy energy. Just lost half your empathy.
exactly. But no, I just that's not my jam. So
No, it's good.
yeah.
It's good in the
That's a
end.
good thing. That's a good thing.
That was a good story.
Yes, good job.
I liked
Yeah.
that one. I knew of it, but
Yeah.
like getting the dirty deets was
411,
really good.
yeah.
Well, we
Yeah.
can, like I said, we can thank my friend Kara from Vegas for
Thanks, Kara.
giving me
Thank you, Kara.
inspiration.
Nice.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, if you have any Crazy in Love suggestions, I know we're always open to taking suggestions. So you can go ahead and email us at myworstdatepodcast@gmail.com. If you have any crazy stories, worst date stories, always looking for more worst date stories.
Yeah, send them to us.
Nothing is too small. Nothing is too insignificant. So if you're thinking that, send it anyway.
Yeah, even if you got a little quickie. We're
Yeah,
good for that.
we need them for our shorties. So please, like if you've got a couple sentences, we're interested in it. You can also stop by our website, myworstdatepodcast.com, where you can also submit your stories there through our Contact Us page. You can also find our Patreon through there. All of our social media is linked through there. It's kind of a one-stop shop.
Yes. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Cheers.
This episode is brought to you by Starfield. Embark on an epic journey through the stars in Bethesda Game Studios' first new universe in over 25 years. In this next-generation role-playing game, you decide who you are and what you will become. The most important story is the one that you tell. Captain your own ship as you venture through the settled systems, exploring over 1,000 planets while unraveling humanity's greatest mystery for all into the Starfield. Visit www.starfieldgame.com to learn more and buy now. Rated M for mature.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.